Simulshifts here. Being able to write a command line tool to automate tasks in your workflow can potentially save you tons of time. For example, you can write a command line tool that calls APIs. You can write a command line tool that monitors and deploys their own web servers. You can even just define a command line tool that manages your tasks for you. In this tutorial, I'm going to go over why you probably shouldn't be using Golang standard library, and I recommend using a library called Cobra. So let's get into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a simple command line tool called greeter, and it's going to take in a single command, hello, and it's going to print back world to the console. So to get started, I'm going to open up a new project in Golang. I'm using Golang, but you can use any IDE you want. For this, I'm just going to call it greeter. And we'll do new window. So I just have an empty project now. I'm going to make a main file to define our entry point. We'll call it package.main, and I'm just going to write out the code to get this implemented. Okay, so we got our simple command line tool written out. Let's go ahead and enter the terminal and build it out and then test it real quick. We'll do greeter hello. So if we type this, it should oh, we got a capital letter here. You can see. Rebuild it. Let's do greeter hello, and we should get back world to the terminal. Now, what if we take this a step further and we want to add a subcommand to the hello command? So maybe we have a command over here, and we're going to call it, we'll just call it sub for subcommand. And if this is given out, after the hello command, it'll print out something. Could be anything. We'll just print out subcommand to the user. So I'll write that out real quickly. All right, let's go ahead and build it out and test our command line tool again. We'll do hello sub, and then we got world because of this, and then we got subcommand because it also satisfied this sub. Now, what if we wanted to add a verbose flag? So maybe something like this. If we put this in to the command, it'll give us some details or something about the command line tool. Now I added the verbose flag to the command line tool, and I'm using Golang's standard flag parsing library that comes out of the box, and we can go ahead and test that out right now real quick to see what that looks like. So if I do go build and then I do greeter verbose, it should print out verbose mode enabled, and there you go. But there's a big issue with this code right now, and that is that if we try to add the verbose flag and then try to run our hello command, now we have an issue. It doesn't print out world anymore, and that is because the first index or the second element in this array is no longer hello. It is the verbose flag itself. And so now if we want to support a flag like this in Golang, we have to do a lot more work. Let me show you what that would look like. So it's not actually too bad. Let's go ahead and build that out, see if it works. We can do greeter verbose hello. Okay, awesome. And we got it working. We can try again with the subcommand, see if the subcommand is also working. Cool. So we supported a verbose flag, a hello command, and then a subcommand for the hello command. And we did that. We were able to do that because the arguments after flags.parse are only the arguments that are not flags. And so we can assume that the first element is going to be the first non-flag command. Now we have a bare bones command line tool that supports the hello command and then the sub command, as well as a verbose flag. But we don't have much out of the box other than that. If I just type the greeter command without any arguments, nothing really happens. It doesn't really tell us how to use a command line tool. So I'm going to say we delete this and we use a tool that is called Cobra. So I'm going to say that Cobra is the best command line tool for Golang. If you are going to make a command line tool in Golang, I highly recommend using Cobra. So I'm going to rewrite our tool that we made in using Cobra instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to install Cobra and then we're going to write out the code. So we've written out the same command line tool using the Cobra library. The first thing we did was we defined our root command, and the root command is what all the other commands are going to be registered to later on. We defined a verbose persistent flag, and the reason why this is persistent is because this actually allows you to apply this flag in your commands arguments anywhere. Unlike in the Golang standard library, you can only use flags in the beginning. So if you try to add a flag at the end of all your arguments, so if I type hello and then try to add a flag in the standard library, it will actually not let you do that. And so the next thing we do is we define our first hello command, and this simply runs this function. When invoked, we print out hello world if the verbose flag is true, and otherwise we print out world. And then similarly for the sub command, we print out hello sub command if verbose is true, otherwise we just print out sub command. And then finally we have our hello command, and then we add the sub command to the hello command. And that's important because that registers this as the sub command to the hello command. And then after that, we register the hello command to the root command. So you can see that there we can define a hierarchy in our commands. And then finally, we just execute the Cobra library to parse out all the registrations we did. So now let's actually build and run this command line tool that we defined with Cobra. So I'm going to go to the terminal and do go build. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type greeter without any arguments in the beginning. And what this is going to do is actually it's going to out of the box print us instructions on how to use a tool. It'll give us a description, greeter client that simply greets you. We have the usage over here, and then we have the available commands. So we have a completion command, and this is super cool because Cobra will actually provide bash or zsh or even fish scripts to enable completion for your own command line tool, which is super helpful. And then we have the hello command, and this hello command just prints world. And then we have the help command if the user wants to display this information again. And also we have a section for flags where we have our verbose flag defined here. And so if I do greeter hello, we are going to get world. And if I do greeter and then I do hello and I want to have it verbose, we have the verbose version of that. And then if I want to do the sub command, I can do this. I could do hello help, and it can tell me the sub commands that the hello command has. So, and it even provides usage on the sub command level, which is also awesome. So if I do greeter hello sub, we'll get back sub command. And then if we want to add the verbose flag, we can add it anywhere. We can add it in the beginning. So I can do verbose, and then we'll have the verbose version of that subcommand. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of the Cobra library. You can add your own custom completions if you want to your command. You can add flags for specific subcommands only. There's a lot you can do with command line tools. I think this is really cool. You should definitely consider learning how to use Cobra, especially if you want to automate certain tasks in your own workflow. I think this is just a great tool to have in your pocket. Thank you for the video. Have a good one.